spreads herself wide open to let the insects in.
Dedham, Massachusetts, the Honorable Beverley Cannone is questioning each of the 18 jurors individually. We don't know why. All Her Honor said was that an issue has come up and that the jurors are not to speculate why she needs to question them individually. But we've got our cameras shut down while this is taking place. It could take some time because we know with the amount of jurors there and alternate jurors, it could take a while.
We were expecting to start on time at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then there was a delay, and everyone was assembled in the courtroom. And then a few moments later, there was a loud announcement, court coming through. We got on our feet. The judge asked to see the attorneys at sidebar. This was after already a 30-minute delay. And then after that, we had heard that the jurors were coming in, and there was the announcement that each one was going to be questioned individually, not to jump to any conclusions, not to speculate, and not to talk amongst themselves. But she did indicate, Judge Beverley Cannone, that this was going to take some time. And this is something that we actually saw last year a couple times. And after each moment that this happened last year, we did end up losing a juror. Again, taking the judge's orders, not to speculate, but I can tell you that's what we saw last year.
Did the court direct everyone to exit so this could be done completely privately, or is everybody just kind of using the opportunity to take a break and get some air?
Yeah, that's a great point of clarification, because we thought that we were going to be allowed to stay in the courtroom, but then the judge ordered all electronics to be turned off, and then she made the decision to have everyone exit the room. And once again, as soon as I got word of that, I wanted to check in with you, and they won't even let us go back in to pick up our belongings. We left them behind. There was no indication that anything was wrong with either of the parties, or there was any concern. And then the judge came in, there was the sidebar, and we had learned that there may be a jury issue.
We noted that Karen Reed was whispering, she was covering her mouth, and she was leaning into her attorney, Elizabeth Little, primarily leaning into her, as I recall it, and pointing toward the jury box. And she looked concerned or animated at that point, I would say, kind of covering her mouth and pointing as if she was trying to tell her lawyer something about it. So that makes me think, Matt, that perhaps it was after that morning sidebar that everybody was alerted to whatever it was that the court was alerted to. Did it seem like that from your vantage point as you were watching them come back from sidebar?
I think you're exactly right. I think that all parties didn't know what was happening, and I think that that's the reason for the delay. Her Honor was in her chambers all morning long until they came out to that sidebar, and then immediately after that, we had learned that there's a jury issue and that each jury member was going to be voir-dired independently with no one in the courtroom. And the case is rapidly coming to a close by all accounts. I mean, Karen Reed was saying, because everyone else is under gag order, right? So yesterday she was saying that she believes the state has about a week left on their case. She indicated that her defense case was going to be short, just a couple days. And then we know that depending on their case, the Commonwealth is planning on a rebuttal case, which could include the dog evidence and those experts. But, we could be looking at deliberations before July.
You are unmuted.
All right, could I see counsel at sidebar, please?
Tweet. Haunted, haunted, woman in his stride.
make it necessary that I talk to each one of you individually over at sidebar with counsel. So that process will take a little while. So I'm going to don't speculate as to what I'm going to talk to you about. Please, when you go back to the deliberation room, talk about anything but this case, and I'll see each of you individually. And the process may take time. The cameras will be shut off, and I'm going to talk to the lawyers about whether we clear the no filming. All right, send you back, and we'll send you back individually. Thank you very much. Now I'll see counsel. All right, so jurors, I still have a couple of questions for you. Were you able to follow the instructions and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation into this case? And we've discussed the other two questions, but I do need to stress for you that it's very, very important that no one discuss this case. Don't let anyone talk to you about the case, no comments about the case. We've seen how hard the lawyers have worked to pull this case together for you, and everybody's given it so much time. So please, let's make sure that we follow that. That means each other. So with that, I know we're late getting started. We're going to take an abbreviated lunch today, only 30 minutes, and abbreviated breaks. So no morning break. We're going to start now and go till 1. All right, Mr. Brennan, and we're taking a witness out of order. I apologize. We've got a witness here. Sometimes we take witnesses out of order. Ms. Hanley will be back later for the rest of her testimony, but we've got a witness here that we'll call out of order. Thank you. Mr. Brennan, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth calls Dr. Wolf.